Greetings gentlemen, Shay Matthews here from the Natural Lifestyles and Inner Game Life Coaching to teach you a really cool lesson today. I want to introduce the concept and practice of Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT. Now, EFT, or tapping as it's also known, has been around for a fair while now. I think it's probably close to or over a decade. It's been very popularized. There's hundreds of thousands of people in the world that do it. It's all over the internet, and you can find out plenty of information about it. And it is a very useful and very simple technique to help you move out of emotionally contracted states and to start to release traumas and limitations in your life. Now, I'll give you a little pre-frame to say that it's not a miracle that's going to heal everything, but it is definitely a useful tool that can help you in a lot of ways so that you can become much more free, much more relaxed, and much more able to express yourself in the world. Now, the basic theory of EFT is that we're interacting with the world all the time. When we have experiences, some of those experiences are fine, but some of them are not. Some of them have a negative impact on us for various reasons, and we experience them as basically traumas, whether they're micro traumas or big traumas. They're like traumas that our nervous system doesn't know how to fully process the information of those experiences, or resists processing the information of those experiences. And then we kind of hold a kind of emotional tension and repression inside of our bodies, and then that reflects in our way of living. It reflects in our personality, in our thinking, in our emotions, and we tend to have like constructs of repressed emotion and even sickness in the body. So EFT is a way to release that and start to get back into flow in a way, to get back into the core state of the body, so that then you can trust in the energy that is you. You can trust in your relationship to life on a more fundamental level. So how do we do EFT? Let's get into the juicy part. The simple part is that it's really just a repetitive pattern, and you just got to go through these basic steps. Number one is we start to do a setup. So a setup is basically either tapping this point here on the side of the hand or rubbing this point here at the top of the collarbone. Now, the collarbone point here is probably about this big, and it's quite a tender point often. It's not always, but it's quite a tender point, and you can just rub generally in that area like that, or you can tap here on the side of the hand. The karate chop point is right here on the side of the hand. Now, as you're tapping or rubbing this point, then you start to talk about and think about and feel the thing that you would like to release. The contraction, the limiting belief, the story, the fear, whatever it is that you would like to gain more freedom from and more flow around. So for example, even though I'm feeling anxious, I still deeply love and accept myself. Now we say this statement, even though I'm X, whatever it is, I still deeply love and accept myself, because it starts to bring a kind of an awareness, an acceptance, and a detachment by saying that. So even though I have a thing, I still love and accept myself, and basically you're sort of saying, I love and accept the fact I'm experiencing this, and this thing is just part of the experience. And it starts to bring your attention and your energy out of the compression of the tension of the problem, and starts to move your attention and your energy back into a place of love and acceptance. So we tap the point, even though I'm anxious, I still deeply love and accept myself. Now when you're doing a setup, you usually do it 3 times. So it's 3 times, not 2 times, 3 times. So when we do it 3 times, it starts to set up this kind of pattern. This is the thing we're going to be working on. This is the thing we're going to be releasing. And also when you're tapping something like anxiety, start to think about the feelings. So you might say something like, even though I have this anxiety, I deeply love and accept myself. This tension in my chest, for example, or this pressure in my belly, or these thoughts that I'm having, these thoughts of failure, these thoughts of not being good enough, these thoughts of loss, these thoughts of whatever it is. And as you tap and you think about and feel into those things, then you start to bring all those things into your focus. Once you've done the setup by naming the thing that you want to change and doing it 3 times, tap the next points. The first point is on the inside of the eyebrows right here. And when you tap these points, we're going to do 14 of these points. When you tap these points, you just simply say something that reminds you, or sometimes you don't even need to say it, you need to just feel the thing that you want to change. So we're working on anxiety, so release this anxiety. Outside the eyes, I release this anxiety. Under the eyes, I release this anxiety. Next point, under the nose, I release this anxiety. Under the lip, I release this anxiety. On top of the collarbone, I release this anxiety. Under the armpits, these points, I release this anxiety. Under the nipples, I release this anxiety. The next ones are on the hands. On the outsides of the thumbnail, I release this anxiety. On the outside of the fingernail or the first finger, I release this anxiety. Second finger, I release this anxiety. Skip this finger, because we do another point. I release this anxiety on the little finger. And we skip this point because we tap on the back of the hand now to finish the round off. Now this is the last part. So after we've tapped the points, we tap on the back of the hand and we say, I'm safe, I choose to release this, I can allow myself to release this. And as you tap on the back of the hand like this, and you close your eyes, open your eyes, look down to the right, make sure your head stays in the same position, look down to the left, look straight ahead, look around clockwise with your eyes in a clockwise circle, look around anti-clockwise in an anti-clockwise circle, and then hum. They always teach happy birthdays in EFT trainings, but you can hum whatever you want. Count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it again, hum. Count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want, instead of humming, you can speak like an alien. Instead of counting to 5, you can say your phone number or your birthday, or you can say your address backwards, or whatever it is. Just do any kind of thing that moves your brain into numbers and logic and problem solving, and moves your brain into some kind of expression or creativity, even if it's just for a few seconds, because it fires different forms of neurology on the right and left brain. Moving the eyes around and doing this funny eye scramble thing whilst tapping the points helps the brain and the neurology start to break up the connections and the attachments to running the same programs over and over and over again. There's actually another form of therapy I'll just quickly talk about called EMDR, which is it's a form of emotional release where they get you to feel the feelings whilst you track your finger or a pen and you look around in all kinds of random patterns, and it confuses the nervous system about how it connects with those feelings. Now EMDR is pretty cool, but it's not as effective as EFT, as a more reliable and self-applicable therapy, so that's why I'm offering you EFT today. So there I just gave you the basic formula of EFT. You do the setup. Even though I'm anxious, I still deeply love and accept myself. This feeling inside my body, these thoughts, I still deeply love and accept myself. The reasons, whatever they are, you know, this story that just happened, I just had this thing happen to me, I'm frustrated, I don't know why, blah, blah, blah. I still deeply love and accept myself. Make sure you do that 3 times, then tap around the points. Then once again, all these different points, and just say things that are related to the feelings and the thoughts and the stories that are associated with it. So all this anxiety, all these thoughts and feelings, all this stuff, all these sensations in the body, all these meanings that I've created for myself. It's okay for me to let them go, tapping on the back of the hand. It's safe for me to release these. I choose to allow myself to let them go. Okay, now close your eyes, open your eyes. Look down to the right, look straight ahead, down to the left. Look straight ahead, look around clockwise, anti-clockwise, hum, count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then take a deep breath. Cool, now you've just successfully done a round. That's the basics of EFT. That alone will start to give you pretty good leverage over a lot of issues. You'll start to feel a lot better about a lot of things, particularly if you have like core traumas or core stories or core things that are very difficult for you to deal with and you haven't been able to really tackle them in a lot of different ways. Allow yourself to feel them and go through this process and see if it makes a difference. Oftentimes it really can make a very big difference. Sometimes we get stuckness around this process. Sometimes there's sabotage or blockage or different resistances that come up. If that happens, then put that into the process. So for example, if you do a couple of rounds and you find your anxiety is still there, think a bit deeper. Tap on the starting points again and start to say something like, even though I feel this anxiety, I'm not sure if I really want to let it go. Or there's part of me that really likes this anxiety. Or I'm scared if I let it go, I'm not sure who I'm going to be. Or I'm afraid of what it means to live without my anxiety. And then you can start to go into the deeper levels of the construct of what you're creating inside yourself that's maintaining these thoughts and these feelings and the reasons why you created them in the first place. And the basic idea is when you start to address the thoughts and the feelings and the complexes that you've created to make these things happen, and you start to reveal the underlying patterns that were holding them together whilst doing the tapping, which helps you come into the body, it helps the mind distract itself, it helps release certain attachment points in energy systems in the body, then you can start to release yourself from those things. You can start to relax them out and they don't become such a primary point of attachment or a primary point of association and perspective anymore. I hope that's been useful. There is more to EFT. That's just a very basic introduction. If you're interested in learning more about EFT or doing a session, you can contact me on innergamelifecoaching.com. I'll take you through the process in more fine detail. I provide a workbook, I give a whole in-depth training, and then you can really go in and we can help clear out a lot of deep stuff. Check out what happens when you use it consistently. Give it a good shot. play around with a few different issues, start consistently doing it for 5 to 10 minutes a day. You'll be surprised at what kind of results you get. Look up some other ideas, check it out on YouTube, check it out on Google, read some articles, see what else you can find. Ask me some more questions, and I can shoot you some details, or we can make more videos if necessary, and you can start to have a lot more breakthroughs when you work with this. Gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Plenty more gold where this comes from, so ask some good quality questions and I'll keep giving you the good stuff. May all your dreams come true, and thanks very much for watching. You're awesome. Thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in learning more about Innogame and the Innogame coaching work that I do, please click subscribe and sign up for an inquiry form, and I'll personally get in contact with you to tell you more about the work that I do. Alternatively, you can go to innogamelifecoaching.com and check out my site there. I have a great range of audios available, as well as some general information that will help you understand the process. See you guys in the next video. Good luck, and may all your dreams come true.